Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Versus series, where I compare and contrast two similar pieces of media and see which one is better. Today, I'm comparing the two Spider-Verse movies, both of which are considered some of the best animated movies in recent years, due to their stunning animation, impeccable storytelling, complex characters, rich themes, fast-paced action, clever satire, dark themes, and witty humor. That's a loss, I know, but still. I've rewatched them both, and I consider them some of my favorite movies of all time. But which one is truly the better movie? Well, let's find out. So we'll be comparing them in 5 different categories, as per usual. Let's start off with the story. The story of the first movie is focused on Miles Morales, a teenager living in New York. He's forced to go to a boarding school, do so winning a prize, which he isn't too happy about, especially with his dad. He has a better connection with his uncle Aaron, who has a distant relationship with Miles' dad, who's also his brother. One night, Miles is bitten by a spider and he suddenly gets spider powers, like Spider-Man. However, he sneaks into an evil lair where Spider-Man, his Spider-Man, is fighting Green Goblin, who's working for Kingpin. He's working on a machine that will hopefully bring his family back. However, the machine overloads and explodes, causing Spider-Man to be injured and Kingpin killing him. Now, Miles is his city's Spider-Man. However, he meets other spider people from different universes and they all band together to stop Kingpin from using the Collider again, while Miles also tries to figure out how to take a leap of faith and become his city's, or his universe's, Spider-Man. The story of the second movie is focused on Miles living life as a new Spider-Man. However, he meets a villain called the Spot, who's pretty pathetic at first. However, he learns how to use his powers and get revenge on Miles for what he did to him. At the same time, Miles reconnects with Gwen, one of the spider people from the first film, who introduces Miles to the Spider Society, run by Spider-Man 2099, also known as Miguel O'Hara. However, when Miles realizes that they're not what they seem, he tries to escape them, while also trying to stop the Spot from destroying the Spider-Verse. One thing to note in Across is that it was meant to be a part 1 of 2, but is now a second part in a trilogy. Even though the cliffhanger ending in Across doesn't bother me to a point where I will decrease the score to a 9, it is still annoying to think about the fact that we're going to have to wait a few more years for an ending or a continuation. The fan in me wants the film to come out as soon as possible, but the critic and animation person in me wants the filmmakers to take as much time as possible to perfect the movie. So, I give this point to the first film, because the story just feels more complete. So that's 1.2 into. Like I said, that's 1.2 into. There we go. Then there's the characters. The characters of both these movies are very interesting. The characters of the first film are extremely likable, while also compelling as well. Not all of them, as it is the first film, but it is interesting enough. I love how Kingpin, the villain, isn't just a typical villain who's just greedy or evil for the sake of being greedy or evil. He's extremely compelling, struggling to cope with indirectly causing the deaths of his wife and son. His grief takes over him, and he does evil things out of grief and sorrow, which leads to a good understanding of why he hates Spider-Man, because he's also the cause of why his wife and son are dead. The second film's characters are also very interesting and likable, with Miles and Gwen's arcs throughout the film being tied into the movie's theme of distrust and friendship or something, I don't know. The movie had a different approach to the villains, however. In the first film, there's one main villain, Kingpin, but there's also side villains, Doc Ock, Prowler, Green Goblin, etc. In the sequel, there's 2 main villains, Spider-Man 2099, or Miguel O'Hara, and the Spot. Both villains act the way they do because they've been affected by something horrible happening to them that tie into the effects that breaking canon events and messing with the universe can do. However, I don't like how the Spot disappears after the halfway point. Yes, his overwhelming stranglehold on the Spider-Verse is still very massive, and we gotta stop him. And Miguel is still an incredibly three-dimensional villain. It isn't just like, oh, I'm evil because movie. But I still preferred the villains in the first film because they're a lot more fun and compelling, especially Kingpin. And a lot more three-dimensional as well. And also memer or something. I don't know. Miguel O'Hara is a very memeable villain, especially with his theme music, which we will get to later. So that's another point to into. Also, before you kill me, I just want to point out that I still think the story and characters in Across are outstandingly amazing. Like, completely beyond anything animated movies are doing right now. Like, have you seen the plot of, like, Trolls World Tour or something? Or not the second film. Trolls Band Together, or I don't know, Wish, or the Disney's 100th anniversary film that was meant to celebrate everything they've been working towards, even though it crashed and burned harder than insert 9/11 joke here. But I prefer the story and characters of the first film. Just a small smidge better. So, are we cool? Oh, who am I kidding? It's the internet. They'll never learn. Then there's the animation. Like, do I even need to say that the animation of both movies is spectacular? Everyone has said it. Hell, I've probably said it before on the 2 years I've been doing this. Jesus Christ, I'm old. Anyway, my crippling depression aside, the animation of both movies is fantastic. No notes. But I prefer the animation of the second film. Mostly because I just think that the way it's able to blend 50 different styles of animation into one scene, like the scene where they're all chasing Miles throughout the entire headquarters of the Spider Society thing in Miguel's universe, it's mind-blowing. It's like absolutely spectacular. The animation of the first film is still amazing, but I'm giving this point to Across. After that, we have the Across wins. Across wins. The first film's music is great as well, but the music of this film makes things 10 times more ethereal and visceral, but also haunting and hopeless. And it's awesome as well. Did I forget to mention that's awesome? Well, it's awesome. I'm so pissed that this didn't get nominated for Best Original Score at the Oscars this year. I'm writing this... Actually, no, hold on. Wait a second. I'm recording this after the Oscars happened. I wrote the script before the Oscars happened, but I'm recording this after the Oscars happened, so I know that Oppenheimer won Best Original Score as well as Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Cinematography, and Best Film Editing. All of which deserved. I mean, I wish it got Best Adapted Screenplay, but of course, American Pictures happened to be better. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Spider-Verse. Yeah, anyway. Point goes to Across. Finally, there's the themes. Themes are the main points that a movie is trying to make. The thing that grips you in and has commentary on something, or it gives you a message for the audience. That's basically saying, hey, listen to us. We know what we're talking about. A lot of movies don't have really good themes, really bad themes, really atrocious themes. Themes that can damage your child's mindset. But these movies' themes are definitely not that whatsoever. The themes of the first movie included believing in yourself, grief, and how to be strong amidst the darkness surrounding you. Pretty normal, but really strong themes that definitely help improve the movie and give it more of an identity. What are the themes of the second movie? Define the power that rules over you, fate versus free will, the ethics of letting people die, whether or not you belong in reality or you deserve to be locked away forever, identity, and the connections of friends breaking apart due to power distrust lying in power. Your second movie wins. I mean, wow. I know the first movie's themes can be compelling, but wow. These movies' themes go far beyond the notion that animation is for kids only. These themes bring the whole movie together, both of them, and probably show why this movie and its predecessor are both masterpieces. But since the sequel gets the final point, that means the second film wins! Yay! You win the prize of my approval. And also the fact that I own a digital I own a physical copy of Across the Spider-Verse. Yay! Even though I prefer the second over the first, I still love both these movies nearly equally. Not enough to get tied, but, I don't do that anymore. I'm not a hypocrite. They're cinematic masterpieces that everyone, whether or not they're a fan of superheroes or not, should watch. They break the conception that all superhero movies are the same. Big action with big celebrities. They're more than that. And these movies show that. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and please, Sony, don't up the third film.